Hello and welcome to Bear Pit TV with Craig. I'm going to be looking forward to this Saturday's game against West Brom. Before I get into that, I'm going to briefly look back to the League Cup defeat to Hull on Wednesday night. A bizarre game, a really bizarre game that I can't quite work out if I need to look at the positives in this game, because there were some, I think that's undeniable, or focus on the obvious negatives. In a positive sense, it's probably the best performance we've had all season. If you discount Stevenage, but of course, let's face it, we really should be beating Stevenage. It was the best game we played all season, and that sounds bizarre considering we lost 2-1. But it's the most chances we've created, it's the most possession we've had, it's the most solid we've looked. We had 21 shots on Wednesday night to Hull's 5, and that's by far the best the most chances we've created in a game. We looked a lot more solid, we had a lot more of the ball, and of course Sobey on the wing looked fantastic. He's probably the biggest spark already of the season, purely for that one game alone. Despite them positives, you could then comfortably and understandably argue that yes, we had all them chances, all that possession, but for Hull's 5 shots, they scored twice. I mean, that just screams out again, our defence is not coping. It is not coping at all, and if teams put us under enough pressure, they will score. And down at the other end, of course, it suggests that despite having 21 shots, we only scored 1 goal, and that was a screamer out of the blue from Arnie, so it's very difficult to kind of ignore these points. Obviously, at the one side of the coin, we're not scoring, despite creating chances, and we're still conceding. We're conceding goals, even though they only had 5 shots. Despite that, I'm going to look at the positives. It was the best we've played all season, and I hope we can take some elements of that play into Saturday's game against West Brom. So looking forward to Saturday. For me, it's the biggest Premier League game we've faced since QPR away in Pulis's last season, when we were slowly getting dragged into a relegation battle. We won that game 2-0, if I remember rightly, a Walters penalty, and I think it was Crouch. It's a game we simply, and this gets said a lot in football, it really does, and it's such a cliche, but I'm going to roll it out anyway. It's a game we simply cannot lose. No ifs or buts. We lose and I think Hughes will go, which I think is really sad. I really do. We've had 3 9th place finishes in the Premier League. We've played some of the best football in my lifetime, as the Stokes explained, in the context of the Premier League. Last season against Man City, Man United, we were fantastic. And I think it's such a shame that it's come to this. 5 games into the season and Hughes is under this pressure. And I truly think if we lose on Saturday, he'll go. And I think that's a massive shame. I think there's a few conditions where Hughes might stay. I think if we draw, he'll just cling on to his job. Just cling on to his job. I think we can win ugly and he'll still stay. He'll be given maybe a couple more games. But anything other than a win or a draw, and I think Hughes is gone, which is a shame. One thing I think that is absolutely vital on Saturday, and I really think this is vital, it's something that we as fans can have a massive influence upon, is the atmosphere. We really have to get behind the team. So far this season, you've seen it in the players, it's a real kind of low confidence, low morale. The team, as soon as a goal goes in against Stoke at the moment, you see the heads drop. They drop immediately. And I think if the fans get on the players back on Saturday, I think we'll lose. I think it's as simple as that. If West Brom begin well and Stoke begin poorly, or they get an early goal and the fans start venting their anger, I truly think it's game over. We will not come back from that, because from what I've witnessed so far this season, one of the biggest issues for me is the players' mentality is just shot at the moment. And I think the last thing they need on Saturday is for the Bet365 stadium to get on their backs. So I'm begging Stoke fans, I'm talking to myself here because I'm a very pessimistic fan. We need to get behind the players on Saturday. If we lose the game with shite, at 90 minutes, fill your boots, do whatever you feel necessary. That's fine, but please, during the 90 minutes, get behind the lads, because they need you more than ever on Saturday. I couldn't speak about West Brom without speaking about our old mate, Mr. Pulis. He will be absolutely loving this. I bet he was having a right chuckle to himself after the Hull defeat and all the other massive defeats we've had this season. For him, this is a Pulis wet dream. He's in the position now to come to Stoke, get Mark Hughes sacked. I think it's as simple as that. He will know this and he will want this. Pulis is ruthless, we know this. He will love nothing more than to come to the Bet365, beat us, show Coates that his football was the way to do it. that this tippy-tappy stuff or playing football on the ground wasn't right. His way was the way to do it. And if he could get rid of his replacement, I think he would secretly absolutely love that. And that's something I can't, it just can't happen. I love Pulis. He gave us some of our greatest moments in the Prem, obviously FA Cup final, Europe, all the rest of it. But to see a little smirk on Pulis' face on Saturday after getting rid of Hughes and beating us and really rubbing salt into wounds would make a bad situation unbelievably worse. It's something I really, really do not want to see. Please, Stoke, do not let Pulis put the final nail in Hughes' coffin and make this season even more miserable. It just can't happen. I'm begging you, Stoke, please don't give him that satisfaction. One other thing I think is worth mentioning, I think really for the first time in many seasons now against a mid-table side, we are actually the underdog. I think some people might disagree with that and might feel that no, we've still got a good squad, we're better than West Brom. And we have been better than West Brom. But for this season as it stands, West Brom are in mid-table now. They had a great victory against West Ham the other week. They're going to be reasonably confident. They actually scored 4 goals somehow under Pulis' team, which is mind-blowing. We're the underdog, quite simply, on Saturday. And I'm hoping that the fact we are the underdog will bring out the kind of togetherness for the fans and the players, and we can really create a decent atmosphere, something similar to the first season. So there we go. I can't spell it out anymore. It's a huge game, the biggest game for seasons, and one we quite simply cannot lose. Please do not lose, Stoke, because I can't bear it. This is doom head in this season. It needs to get going. It needs to get going now. So yeah, if you've liked the video, give it a like. If you think I'm chatting sense, give that a like. If I'm chatting absolute rubbish and I don't know what I'm on about, let me know. Let me know why, and give us one of them little unhappy faces that you can now do on Facebook. Here we go. Let's see you on Saturday. Let's see how we get on, eh?